so we're here at a very sunny Santa Pod for once. First of all, let's just see how this new diff goes. Like, I'm quite nervous in case I've not done something right when I've installed it and it just fucking blows up on the first lap or something. But also, I'm just kind of nervous of how different it's going to behave to what I'm used to. So yeah, I'm just going to take it very steady for this first run. Nothing crazy. And then hopefully towards the end of the day we'll kind of work up to being a bit better. With this diff. Well, it might have just been because I was in second where I'd normally been in third, but yeah, that felt a lot different. That felt good, but it's going to take a bit of getting used to. That guy was so close behind me. Shat myself. Second gear. We lost third gear. No, we're okay. Fuck. Gear isn't very happy. It's just kind of like not quite going in most of the time now. That's a little bit awkward. Maybe we go let everything cool down a bit. I'm getting fucking boiling, so I can do it cooler now. We're going to check the tyres and yeah, we'll see how we go in a minute. Shout away.
I'll shout nicely. I won't hit you or anything, you're right.
Shout in a pleasant way.
That's it.
I think I need to be second around this bit.
Yeah, try and go a little bit wider so you don't end up cutting in too short when
on
you
that
do
last bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Good, keep it going.
Just had Jojo in the car. You might have seen some bits of her giving me some tips. I'm going to try and put them into practice now. She knows what she's doing. She's in that grey BMW. You can't quite see her, I don't think, but she's lined up next to us. I'm not sure if she's coming out on this run or not. But yeah, she does a bit of marshalling and a bit of drifting as well. Like I say, knows what she's doing. So got some tips on different lines and stuff from her. So we'll try and see if we can do our best to follow them. who's in the car next to us, 350. And he's just put some different tyres on though, and I have, rather foolishly, just put those grippy tyres back on that I was struggling on last time, because I just want to prove to myself that I can drift on them. So this is probably going to be horrible, especially this first run, just getting used to them again. But we'll see how it goes. And I'm fucking dying of heat. The first thing I do when I get home is putting the aircon fuse back in, so that I can have nice cool aircon. At the moment, I have nothing. This just blows hot air in. It's fucking horrible. Let's hope third gear is not an absolute twat again like it has been for the last few runs. I hope I haven't seriously damaged anything there, but we will see. My gearbox is fucked. Sake, this is really annoying. No, I can't, it won't stay in fucking gear. This is frustrating. Even going from third down to second now, it fucking just doesn't want to go into gear. I'm surprised Steve didn't hit the back of me a few times there, because I kept slowing down loads and that just wouldn't go in. Back in front of us. Can't drift this bit with someone else there. Survived. Didn't die.
No, I didn't die. And you're right, it's not actually that bad with just these on.
With what?
With just the normal seatbelt.
No, it's not.
It's
like,
actually
with
not
the bucket
that bad.
seats, it's alright.
A few moments later.
Don't dare. So annoying, it just won't go in its all now. Here we go. Okay, sorry for the slightly abrupt ending there to the track footage. I did mean to film like a little closing bit, but kind of got distracted by the clutch not working. But more on that in a minute. I'll explain all about the transmission issues. And the reason I'm driving somewhere now is related to that as well. But we'll get onto that later. First of all, I just wanted to say that it was actually a really fun day despite all the transmission problems. Like, it might have looked like I was getting frustrated. I was. Like, I edited out loads of bits of me just shouting at the car because it just got boring seeing me complain about the same thing over and over again. But yeah, it was frustrating because at the time you just want to keep the drift going, and when you can't get into gear and it straightens up because of that, it's annoying. But it was still a fun day. I think just because it was nice weather, there was a few friends there. Obviously, we had Jojo come out in the morning giving us some tips. We had Matt from Rear Axle Divergence came out for a few passenger rides as well, or only one, I think, actually, one session with Matt. And then one of Steve's friends, Lizzie, came out. She'd never been on a drift day before, so that's always fun. And yeah, I had a good laugh with her. And then we were drifting with Steve, which is a lot more interesting than just drifting around on your own or with like people that you don't really know at all. So that made it a lot more fun. And it actually felt really close as well. It probably doesn't look it on GoPro because nothing ever does, but it actually felt really close when I was behind Steve at some points. Like a lot of the time I'm just sort of behind him, whereas at some points I did actually manage to get like alongside him. And that was definitely the closest I've ever drifted to someone else. I've had other people drift really close to me, but when I've been the one that's like doing the chasing, I've never really dared get very close. So yeah, that was quite a new experience getting that close, and just hoping that he didn't slow down at all. Like I'm impressed that he didn't hit me when I was having all the gearbox issues. I really am, because around the bit where it's easy to close up on people, like I was just suddenly off the power and just not going anywhere because I couldn't get it into gear. So I'm very impressed that he didn't slam into the back of me. So well done, Steve, for not hitting me. But yeah, let's get on to the transmission issues. Oh boy. Basically, it turns out, I didn't know this until yesterday, it turns out that the early model 350Zs are pretty well known for having terrible synchros, especially going into third gear. A lot of people on forums and things mention crunching going into third gear and like not going into third gear properly, which is obviously what I'm having an issue with. One thing I didn't explain as well is the clutch was also having a problem. I didn't realise this at the time until I went to leave, but the clutch pedal wasn't coming all the way back up. You could press it down, and then it would come like 2/3 of the way back up, and then it wouldn't do anything, and then eventually it would spring back. But I think basically I boiled the clutch fluid, which I didn't realise at the time, because when you're out drifting it's all kind of hectic and you're doing everything really quickly. You don't have time to sit and think, is there as much resistance on the top third of the clutch pedal as there was before? You don't notice that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's probably what started the issues, was the clutch overheating, well, the clutch fluid overheating. So then the clutch probably wasn't disengaging properly, and then it makes it a lot harder to get into gear. That's my theory. And then I guess the fact that I didn't realise that and I just kept trying to ram it into third gear and ram it into second gear and stuff, probably then led to the issues that I'm having now. Because now, even driving it on the road, even after everything's cooled down, it still crunches a lot going into third gear. It's okay if you do it really slowly, like put the clutch down, wait for ages, and then slowly push it into gear. But anything other than that, and it crunches quite a lot. So I think I need a new gearbox, basically. Now, Nissan actually introduced a stronger gearbox called the CD009, and it's a gearbox that a lot of people know and like because it is so strong. I think people use it on like 1,000 horsepower builds and stuff without changing any in the internals, which is pretty mad. I might be wrong there, so someone correct me, but that's what I read somewhere. So yeah, it's a popular gearbox, but they only did it for like 2 years, I think, or even a year, in like the 2006 model 350Z. So there aren't many around. Like, I looked for the last couple of days, I've been looking to see if I can find one to buy. Can't find any, apart from one in Denmark, which is like $2.5 grand. I think that's before shipping, and the advert didn't exactly fill me with confidence either, so I didn't want to buy that one. So yeah, I can't find any for sale. I've asked quite a lot of people, I've posted on forums, I've looked around eBay and everywhere that you would look for a used transmission, and I can't find one. So I think what I'm going to do, and this is going to sound a little bit extravagant, but hear me out, is buy another 350Z that's got the gearbox in that I want, and just take that out and put it in mine. Now, the problem with this is that I've only got a week before the next drift day, and then there's another drift day like 4 days after that. So I need to buy a car, take the transmission off it, take the transmission off mine, replace the clutch and flywheel on mine as well, because I've had a clutch and flywheel sat waiting for a while anyway, and it makes sense to do them at the same time. And then put the new transmission onto mine and make sure everything works and is all good in basically less than a week. Now, for someone who really knows what they're doing and has done it before, that's probably not difficult at all. But first of all, buying a car takes more than just like a day. And secondly, it's going to take me ages to change transmissions twice, essentially. I've got to remove the transmission twice and then put the new one on once and change the clutch and flywheel. I've never done that before in any car, let alone a 350. So it's going to be a bit of a learning curve there, and I don't really think it's like a one-man job. I've got a transmission jack. Well, I ordered one a few days ago. It should be here very soon. So that'll make it a lot easier, and obviously I've got the lift, but I still think it's going to be a pain in the ass to do it on my own just because of the weight and the kind of awkwardness of manoeuvring the transmission off the engine and back on. Now, it's not quite as extravagant as it sounds, just buying a whole car for a gearbox, because obviously I can sell the car afterwards. So I can buy the car, get the gearbox onto mine, go drifting, and then at some point get my gearbox repaired, put it back on the other car, and then just sell it as a whole car. And then there's also an option of just selling the car as separate bits. So I could just sell the engine and then sell the rolling chassis and bodywork and stuff like that, and make probably a similar sort of amount back. Like I said, I know I'm going to lose money, but it's not going to be a massive amount more than just buying the gearbox separately. And it's going to be a lot quicker and easier to get a car than it is to get the gearbox on its own. So that's the plan. It's probably going to go horrendously. I'm probably going to end up with a car, well, with two cars with no transmission on them, and then the 86 crashed. So I'm going to have 3 cars that I could drift and not be able to do the drift day. That's how I see it going. But I like a challenge, so let's try and do this in essentially 4 days I'm going to have, I think, by the time I actually get the car. I'm going to go test drive one now. That's where I'm on my way to now. So assuming it's all fine and the gearbox looks fine, I believe it's got the right gearbox in. There's just such a ball ache trying to figure out which models have actually got the CDO9 gearbox in, which everyone raves about. Lots of contradictory information online, lots of stuff telling you, oh, this is how you identify that it's a CDO9, and then there'll be another post that says, no, that's not true, this is how you do it, and then there'll be another post that says, that's not true, this is how you do it. And it just is so hard to tell who to trust and what to believe. So I think the safest way to make sure I'm going to get one is to get a 2006 model that's the facelift, that's the rev-up engine, so it's the 290 brake rather than 270 brake like the stock one is, the standard one that I have. I think that should ensure that I get the better gearbox. I mean, at the moment, any working gearbox is going to be better than what I've got, so it's not going to be the absolute end of the world if it happens to just be like the one revision earlier, because they've made loads of revisions to this gearbox. Mine's basically the earliest, worst one, so anything above that is going to be better, if you know what I mean. And there's like 4 revisions above that, I think, before they switch to a different setup for the HR engines. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. I've waffled on for ages about this, so it's going to be a pretty long video now, but whatever. That's where we are. Gonna go buy another car for the gearbox, and yeah, I guess I'll do a video on how badly the transmission swap goes, and we'll see if I can get it ready for in a week's time at Teesside, and then Rockingham a few days after. Yay.